একদম লাইন অফ ফায়ারে থাকেন না।
We welcome the announcement of an interim government and urge any transition be conducted in accordance with Bangladesh's laws. What we want to see is democratic order. We want to see the Bangladeshi people choose their own government, and that's what we'll be looking for in the days and weeks ahead. We have seen the announcement that Prime Minister Hasina resigned from her position and departed Bangladesh. We are monitoring the situation carefully. The United States stands with the people of Bangladesh. We urge all parties to refrain from further violence. Too many lives have been lost over the course of the past several weeks, and we urge calm and restraint in the days ahead. We welcome the announcement of an interim government and urge any transition be conducted in accordance with Bangladesh's laws. Finally, we are deeply saddened about the reports of human rights abuses, casualties, and injuries over the weekend and past weeks. We share our deepest condolences with those who lost loved ones and those who are suffering.
On Bangladesh, Bangladesh is free at the cost of hundreds of lives under the shoot on site ordered by autocratic Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. But the situation is still unclear. Students, leaders, opposition parties, and the army are trying to form a civilian government. Could you please provide more insight into the U.S. position?
So, as I said, a few things. Number one, our condolences, of course, go out to those who have been hurt in the violence over the past few weeks. We are focused now on supporting an end to the violence and for accountability. All decisions regarding the interim government should be made with respect to democratic principles, rule of law, and the will of the Bangladeshi people.
Yeah, as you said, accountability. Sheikh Hasina fled to India, and she is trying to get any of the Western country. Will you allow her to come into the U.S. as she commit crime against humanity largely?
I'm not aware of any request of that nature.
Matt,
Yeah, go ahead. Guys, one at a time.
Matt, the recent fall, we already know, Bangladesh government led widespread violence and chaos. What measure is the U.S. State Department or U.S. taking to address the reported atrocities against minorities and general populace in Bangladesh?
So a few things. Number one, as I made clear, what we are calling for today is an end to the violence and for accountability. Now, as to what accountability looks like, that's something that should take place under Bangladeshi law. Obviously, anyone responsible for acts of violence, acts that break the law, should be held accountable for them.
Thank you so much.
Matt,
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt, thanks. During the time that Bangladeshi people struggled against that fascist ruler and thousands of people got killed, you already informed us that she fled the country this morning.
I didn't inform you that. I think.
Okay, you said it. Okay.
I said we've seen the announcement she resigned.
Okay, she resigned. Okay. After she left, there is dozens of dead bodies are pulling out from the govt, the official residence of Prime Minister. There's dozens of dead bodies are pulling out next to the parliament. There's lots of atrocities are taking place by the government official, those who are still in power, especially a couple of people. Army Chief of Staff General Waqaruzzaman, he was involved with genocide. Navy Chief Admiral Mohammed Nazmul Hassan, he was involved with the genocide. Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan, they were involved with the genocide. And they're the same people are saying, we are going to the president and form a caretaker government. So, as a matter of fact, when was the last time we heard a killer is going to do the justice for another killer?
So let me say a few things. Number one, with respect to the violence over the past few weeks and the deaths that have occurred, it is vital that we have full and transparent investigations to ensure accountability for these deaths. Second, as it relates to the interim government, as I made clear in my opening remarks, we think that it's important that we focus on the Bangladeshi people's democratic aspirations and see a path to democratic governance.
Does America support Bangladesh military to install a caretaker government?
We want to see the Bangladeshi people decide the future of the Bangladeshi government.
Thank you.
Janie. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Has there been any contact, as far as you know, with Bangladeshi officials, be it in the military or in the the former government, or?
I don't have any to report today. There may have been contacts from our embassy, but I'm not aware of any. Don't have any to announce.
And just also in terms of some U.S. issues with Bangladesh, the issue of the Rohingya, of course, has been something that's been quite important between the U.S. and Bangladesh. Is there any concern that this would impact the housing of the Rohingya refugees?
So I think, as you know, the United States has provided, I'm going to try to do the number from memory here, I think it's around $2 billion to assist with refugees in Bangladesh. And I don't have any immediate comment on how this change of government might affect those programs. I would certainly hope that it wouldn't. We think it's important that Bangladesh continue to provide hospitality to those refugees, and will continue to work with them to do so. No, hold on. Guys, hold on. Simon, did you have?
Sean asked most of my questions, but I did want to ask on is there ongoing assistance to Bangladesh, both in terms of humanitarian aid that will continue, and also military assistance continue, given, I guess this is not a coup, but there's questions over the transfer of power.
Yeah, so certainly with respect to the kind of allusion in the last part of your question, so we've seen all that we know right now is we've seen the announcement from the government that she resigned. We don't have any further information about how that resignation may have taken place. With respect to, and that goes to the question, obviously, of financial support. So with respect to financial support in fiscal year 2023, the United States provided over $212 million in bilateral economic, development, and health assistance to Bangladesh. Obviously, I don't have any announcements with respect to those programs, other than that we would like to see them continue because they're important to our relationship with the people of Bangladesh. And just to confirm the question Sean answered, it was we provided nearly $2 billion in humanitarian assistance to support Rohingya refugees since August of 2017.
Can I just take just another question on that? Just taking a step back a little bit. I mean, how do you actually feel about the Army's role? How does the United States feel? Do you think that they were productive in this? Is there any concern that an interim role could become more than an interim role?
So let me answer that two ways. One, with respect to their role over the past several days, we have seen the reports that the Army resisted calls to crack down on the protesters, and if those reports are true, certainly that is something that we would encourage. We don't. We made clear, I think, for several weeks now that people have a legitimate right to protest and to peacefully assemble, and we opposed any kind of violent crackdown. So if it is true, in fact, that the Army resisted calls to crack down on lawful protesters, that would be a positive development. With respect to where we go from here, what we want to see is democratic order. We want to see the Bangladeshi people choose their own government, and that's what we'll be looking for in the days and weeks ahead.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.